Hey, what is up, you guys? So, I don't know if you guys will remember these games, but I sure do. They were some of the mini browser games that I played as a kid, like, of course, the iconic Papa's games, Polly Pocket games, My Scene and Barbie games, and so on. So, in this video, we're going to go through all 10 of the Holly Hobby games that are available on this website. Some of these games have actually been updated fairly recently, even though it doesn't seem like it on a lot of them. But I will be starting with the game that introduced me to Holly Hobby in the first place, and it's Holly Hobby, the Hey Girls Muffin Maker. So they start you off in the game with this cute little intro.
Hi, I'm Holly. And I'm Carrie. Amy here. We're the Hey Girls.
So I hopped into the game, and not gonna lie, at first I actually really sucked, and also didn't realize that the longer you go, the faster it gets. So imagine my surprise when I get to the end and it's literally throwing so many muffins at me. And yes, in case you're wondering, I did actually go back and retry the game, and I did do better this time. It's cool though that once you get to the end of each stage, you can see real recipes on how to make different muffins like applesauce, chocolate, and corn muffins. Not sure about those applesauce muffins, but I've never tried them, so I don't know, maybe they're good. I don't like muffins though, except those mini muffins. I rate this game a solid 8.5 out of 10. A little bit of difficulty, but it's not so bad that you'd rage quit. On to the next game, Holly Hobby Lemonade Stand. I vaguely remember playing this game as a kid, but it certainly wasn't my favorite one. And based on the difference in the like to dislike ratio on this game, it doesn't seem like it was many other people's favorite either. Remember when coloring sheets were actually used as rewards for games like this? As if I had access to a printer all the time. Maybe these games were intended for you to play them at school so you could easily print them, or just not to play at home in general, or maybe they just assumed everybody had a printer, or maybe I'm just weird and didn't have a printer in my house until I became an adult. But anyway, we get into the game where we are prepping to sell lemonade, and automatically I'm noticing the delay. This makes it so much harder to truly enjoy the game, honestly, and the first minigame itself isn't too hard, but the delay and lagginess certainly makes it less enjoyable. It's easy enough to get you into the game, though. Then we get to the second minigame, and wow, the delay is so much more noticeable. This one, in my opinion, is only hard because of the lag, but as a general idea, it is easy to fill the glasses of lemonade. But let me tell you, if you were actually pouring lemonade like this, it would literally be all over the ground. The third minigame was actually surprisingly difficult to me when I first played it because I wasn't expecting it to be like this. So I retried it, and obviously it was easier for me because I understood what I was doing, but yet again, the delay made it so much more annoying to actually try to play it properly. I rate this game a 4 out of 10, like I'm so sorry, but the constant delay made it so annoying to try to play. So the next game is Holly Hobby's Dream and Style Dollhouse. I actually do remember playing this game as a kid as well, but I'm automatically noticing the like to dislike ratio on this, and oh boy am I excited to see what's wrong with this one. Holly starts off telling us about the game, of course.
We have 4 rooms to decorate. Decorate the whole dollhouse at once, or do one room at a time.
And she ends it by letting us know that we can print out the finished product. Wow, printers were truly meant to be the icons of the 2000s and 2010s, huh? The first thing I notice in this one is that every object makes a noise or has some sort of interaction, like the stove lights up and Holly and her friends talk. And every time my cursor would roll over that stupid microwave, I just hear, and oh my gosh, it was about to make me actually lose it, so I had to take it out in the end because I just couldn't deal with it. All of the sounds overlap constantly and they are all so loud. Even after turning my volume down to 17, it was still so freaking loud. My original intention when decorating was to use literally every single item that was offered to me, and I did try that at first, but I realized there was actually not enough space for every item to fit. Regardless, I honestly gave up about halfway through, and then I ended up with this. At the end, she says this.
Wow, I love your style. Click to print your dollhouse or decorate some more.
And yeah, I was not fucking with this game too heavy. It's fine if you're just bored and you want to do some light decoration, but as someone who is constantly building in The Sims, the limitations in style and just the functionality of this game were not for me. And also, the sound effects, oh my gosh. This one gets a 5 out of 10. The next game is Pack a Picnic. Ah, yes, the sounds of a song that sounds like it was played over itself 5 times is just how I want to be greeted when I start playing a game. So this is like the mini game in the lemonade stand game, except this is literally the entire game. But you also have to click to catch everything, and it might not even register your catches. So this game was obviously very frustrating to play. I literally was going to give up after the first round, but I went in for another round to see how I could do. The in-game voice was also so much quieter than the ear-grating music, so I don't know what she's saying when I catch the ladybugs. Ah, yes, she's saying perfect.
Perfect.
This game could have been better if it actually would have registered half of my clicks. Even if I tried clicking 3 times, some of the items still wouldn't count as being caught. This game gets a hard 1 out of 10. It was not fun, the music is too loud, and it's imported horribly, and the mechanics just suck. The next game is Surprise Party. So, I'm a dumbass, and initially was confused on how to play this game, even though it says it in the beginning to use the arrow keys. So after rereading the rules and finally figuring that out, I'm in, and I'm playing, and oh my gosh, the dog and the brother can corner me. You're supposed to avoid them, and I did try to, but it was kinda hard, not gonna lie. Now, this part isn't the fault of the game, but you see my laptop has the smallest keys possible for arrow keys, so I had such a hard time trying to navigate with that. So I did try one last time to finally bypass the first level, and I did it. And it only took me 54 out of the 60 seconds that I was given. So yeah, beat that. I'm a master at this game. The second part was easy enough since I fully understood what I was doing now. And the third part was also easy enough, but the extremely large hitbox on these people is bananas, and it is what managed to slow me down and hinder me. Even if you don't run directly into them, it still slows you down. Plus, this third round only took me 58 of the 60 seconds that I was given, so wow, I've totally gotten better at this game since starting. The fourth and final round, I honestly didn't think I was going to finish on the first try, but I did, so slay. Anyway, here's my final score. If you think you can beat me, try it. Obviously you can beat me, I was clearly sucking. I think if I had stopped being lazy and plugged my keyboard into my laptop, I would have had a better time playing this, but I don't know. It still has its problems, like the fact that you can get cornered by the dog and the brother at the same time, and the fact that the slowdown lasts for a little bit after you've run into them, and maybe that was intentional, but I just didn't personally like that. I rate this game a 7 out of 10. Maybe I'll try it again another day with my keyboard plugged in and have a better time with it. The next game is Heart to Heart Match. It's just a typical matching game, which I do have a gripe about matching games that don't show you what's on the other side of the card, or in this case, inside of the locket before making you start matching, because sometimes I feel like it's not fair. But since there are so few pictures to match in this game, it was really no big deal. It was in fact still kind of a big deal to me. But anyway, this game is super fast, but it encourages you to try to beat your high score every time, and this was my best. So beat that. I'm obviously joking. It's really not a hard game, and I also noticed there was no music at all in this game, which I'm not sure if that's a relief or not. It's certainly better than the overlay of music in that picnic game though, so I'll take it. I give this game an 8 out of 10. Matching games are fairly simple, it's really hard to mess that up. The next game is Beanbag Toss. I remember so vividly playing this game as well. It's a simple concept. It's basically like a child's version of slots, but instead of money, you get
A stuffed animal, a yummy pie from Aunt Jessie, a bunch of pretty flowers, a yummy lollipop, a lucky horseshoe, a toy airplane, a pet goldfish.
and I was absolutely determined to get every single prize possible. It took me about 5 tries of playing over and over again to finally get all 7 of the items, but it was super fun. This one was certainly a lot more fun than some of the others, and it's possibly my favorite out of them all. So it gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me. Enables gambling addiction in children, but it is super duper fun, and it takes longer than some of the other games. So the next one up is Create a Snow Globe. This isn't really game so much as it is an activity, but regardless, it is a distractor for children, so let's get into it. Basically, it's as the name says. You create a snow globe, and this lady walks you through how to do it.
The faucet and fill it up to the line. Click OK to continue.
So you literally cannot mess it up. First you fill it with water, then decorations, and a base and a scene, so I of course picked the best option.
Ho ho ho!
Then you add a song and finish it off, and you can even shake it up. You can also send it to a friend, and you know I had to send it to my best friend ever. Anyway, like I said, this isn't really a game, and the sound mixing isn't really great.
Click Send a Friend to continue.
But I still rate it an 8 out of 10. It's easy enough to finish in less than 5 minutes, and it's something that you can do as a distraction. The next one up is Holly's Attic Treasures. This game just throws you in, there is no opening screen. This game was literally so fast to play through. It took me literally a minute and 3 seconds the very first time that I played, and it only took me that long because I couldn't find this damn patch. I tried again thinking there would be another stage or a different angle of the room or something different, but no, it just rearranges the items and puts them in different places instead. Ultimately, it's not super difficult obviously. Maybe it will be harder for a kid as they usually take longer to find items in games like this, but even this wouldn't be extremely difficult for a child. This one gets a 6 out of 10 rating for me. I wish that there were more levels, and I wish that it had a little more difficulty to it, to be honest, but it's fun enough, I guess. And the final game is Holly's Water Balloon Blast. It's also pretty straightforward. You just throw these water balloons at these two little boys, and you have to try to avoid hitting the animals or you lose a point for hitting them. This game is relatively easy, but sometimes it did not register all my clicks, just like some of the other games, but I did still manage to hit Robbie and Kyle a pretty good amount of times. It's pretty fast to finish, just like many of the other Holly Hobby games, so if your attention span is shit and you like hitting kids with water balloons, this is the game for you. It gets an 8 out of 10 from me. And here is my final ranking of all of the games. This was so fun to revisit, and if you guys want to check these games out for yourself, I definitely recommend it, and I will leave a link in the description of this video to the website that I used to play these. If you want to see more of these types of videos, please let me know. I do have a few more ideas of my own of some games that I would like to revisit, so I will be doing that. But if you have any games that were your favorites, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!